Hi, third grade writers. So today I want to teach you that when writers publish their fairy tales, they present it in a way that is exciting and engaging to the reader. They think about how to break up their writing across pages, and they also think about the style of illustrations or art that best fits their story. So today your goal is to make a plan for publishing your fairy tale, and you'll begin to work on publishing it. So now I wanted to quickly show you two different fairy tales. As I show these to you, I want you to think about the differences and similarities in the choices that the authors made as they published their fairy tales. So I want you to think about why the authors may have broken up text onto different pages, and I also want you to think about the artistic choices that the authors made to represent their stories. So this is Little Red Riding Hood, A Newfangled Prairie Tale by Lisa Campbell Ernest. Now, as you can see as I start to open the book, it has fairly traditional drawings and a good paragraph of text on every page. I'll read you the first two pages. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived at the edge of a great prairie. Because she always wore a jacket with a red hood when she rode her bike, everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood. Now one morning, as Little Red Riding Hood sat eating her favorite wheatberry muffins, she had an idea. "Mom," she said, "it's going to be a real scorcher today. Grandma sure would love it if I brought her some muffins and lemonade. You know how crabby she gets in the heat." Little Red Riding Hood loved visiting her grandmother. "Great idea," her mother said. Okay, so this author chose to break up her writing so that on her first page, she started with her introduction, where she's setting the scene for the characters and the setting. And then on the second page, it's a new scene, and they're sitting in the kitchen eating breakfast. So she starts a new page for that new scene, and she has several sentences on each page. You can also see that she has these fairly traditional classic style illustrations to go with it. Now, the style of this book is very different from how the author of Prince Cinders decided to publish her book. So this is Prince Cinders by Bavette. You can already see on the cover that it's kind of a cartoonish style of illustration for this book. Prince Cinders was not much of a prince. He was small, spotty, scruffy, and skinny. He had 3 big, hairy brothers who were always teasing him about his looks. They spent their time going to the palace disco with princess girlfriends. They made poor Prince Cinders stay behind and clean up after them. So as you can see, this author is taking more of a comedic look at the story. He's also having just 1 or 2 sentences on each page describing the characters and moving the reader slowly into the story with lots of illustrations. So this author chose a very different way to publish their fairy tale. So today I want you to make a plan for how you're going to publish your fairy tale. What I want you to do is take out your fairy tale and start to break it up or make notes about where you're going to start a new page. So I took my fairy tale and I decided I wanted to follow the style of Little Red Riding Hood, the first story I showed you. And I decided I wanted to break it up so that I have kind of one scene on each page. So this is what I did. Once upon a time, there lived a joyful family of pugs. The Peralta Hood pug family lived on 63rd Street, a green tree-lined street where cats scampered into the bushes. Times were strange because coronavirus made it so that everyone needed to shelter in place. Little Pug Peralta had stayed inside for days. Her Zoom wasn't working, and she missed her friends. So that's going to be page 1. Okay, now there's a new action. Someone new is speaking, so this is going to go on page 2. "Little Pug Peralta Hood, don't you think it's time you went for a walk? You haven't exercised all week," Little Pug's mom called from the living room. "I guess you're right," sighed Little Pug as she grabbed her coat and trudged down the stairs. Now I'm starting a new scene because now little Pug Peralta Hood is outside. It's a new setting, so this will be page 3. As Little Pug Peralta Hood skipped along the sidewalk of 63rd Street, she smelled the sweet jasmine blossoms and watched a cat scamper through the shining green grass. It's so wonderful to be outside, she thought to herself. Okay, and I'm thinking that to go along with my story, I'm going to use some kind of animal cartoons to go along with it, because it is kind of a humorous story in some ways. And I'm excited to draw these pugs kind of cartoonishly. So that's going to be the style of my illustrations. So as you can see, I made a plan for how I'm going to break up my story. And I also thought a bit about the illustrations that will go along with each part. Now you have some choices for how to publish your fairy tale today. Choice number 1 is that you can use one of the booklets that I provided in the PDF file online, and you can handwrite very carefully each part of your fairy tale onto a separate page and then make an illustration to go along with it. The second option is that you can type your writing into a Google Doc and then split it up onto several pages and illustrate each of those pages, either on a computer or you can print it out and illustrate it by hand. The third choice is that you can make a Google slide for each page of your book and include illustrations on the Google slide. So I hope you have a good time starting to publish your writing today. You don't have to finish the whole published piece today, but I would spend at least 20 to 30 minutes working on your published fairy tale so that it's ready to start sharing with the class very soon. Looking forward to seeing your work. Talk to you soon.